How do you rebuild a city? If you're an average person, the question might never have occurred to you. Most of us are more concerned with how we're going to rebuild our lives after a bad day at the office or a fight with our spouse. But for some people, rebuilding a city is their entire life's work. In October 1871, a fire broke out in the American city of Chicago. It would rage for 8 days, destroying 90% of the city and leaving thousands dead. When people think about the Great Chicago Fire, they tend to focus on the disaster itself, which is understandable. It's one of the worst disasters in U.S. history. In fact, if it hadn't been for firefighting efforts, it's likely that the entire city would have burned to the ground. But everyone knows that firefighters put out fires. It's what they're trained to do. What's less well known is the role played by the unsung heroes of the Reconstruction that followed. In this story, we want to pay tribute to them. We will follow a humble stonemason as he goes about his daily routine rebuilding Chicago. He wakes up early, eats breakfast with his family, kisses his wife goodbye, and takes the train to work. He doesn't live far from the city center, but the fire has left its mark. Charred wood, broken bricks, and twisted metal litter the streets. The air is thick with dust and smoke, but our stonemason is unfazed. He's seen enough of this in his lifetime to know that nothing lasts forever. This too shall pass. When he arrives at the construction site, other workers have already started unloading bricks from carts. Some are sorting through the bricks, looking for the ones that are still usable. Others are mixing cement, while others are laying bricks. Our stonemason joins the group laying bricks. They work steadily and efficiently, passing bricks back and forth without a word being spoken. Each bricklayer is responsible for laying a certain number of bricks per hour, and they take great pride in their work. They don't like to waste time chatting. Instead, they focus on the task at hand. The sun beats down on their backs as they lay brick after brick, creating a new wall. Sweat trickles down their faces, but they don't stop to wipe it off. They're too busy. They have too much to do. After hours of hard work, they take a break. They sit down on some nearby crates and eat their lunch. They don't talk much. They're tired and hungry, and most of them just want to finish their work and go home. When it's time to go, they gather up their tools and head back to the train station. As they ride the train home, they think about tomorrow. They know that there will be more work to be done, but they're not afraid. They're good at what they do, and they take pride in their work. They also know that they're helping to rebuild their city. They're part of something bigger than themselves, and that gives them hope for the future. Our stonemason gets off the train and walks slowly towards home. He's tired, but he can't wait to get home to see his children. He thinks about how lucky he is to live in a country like America, where a man can come from nothing and become something. He came to America with little more than the clothes on his back and a dream in his heart. And now he was a respected member of society. He opens the door to his house and sees his children playing on the floor. His wife looks up from her sewing and smiles at him. She knows how hard he's been working, but she also knows that he's happy. And that's all that matters. He gives his children a kiss and picks them up. He tells them stories about the great city they'll build together. Then he puts them to bed and joins his wife in the kitchen. They talk quietly, planning for the future. In the morning, when he wakes up, his wife will make him breakfast. He will eat, kiss his wife goodbye, and take the train to work. There will be more bricks to lay, more walls to build, but he won't mind. He knows that he's helping to rebuild his city, and that makes him feel good. He's just one small part of a huge effort, but he's proud of his work. As the years pass, the city is rebuilt and even grows larger than before. People from all over the world come to Chicago to see the new buildings and the new way of life. And the stonemason is proud to have played a part in making it all possible. He knows that his work is never truly finished, but he doesn't mind. He loves what he does, and he loves his city. And so he continues to lay bricks, one by one, until the day he dies. So far, we've heard about the stonemason. Now let's meet a carpenter named Thomas. Thomas wakes up before the sun rises. It's still dark outside, but he doesn't need any light to get up. Years of waking up early have made him a morning person. He gets out of bed and starts getting ready for work. He puts on his clothes, combs his hair, and ties his shoes. Then he goes downstairs to get breakfast. His wife has already prepared everything: bacon, eggs, bread, coffee, milk. Everything a man could ask for. He eats quickly because he doesn't want to waste any time. He has to get to work as soon as possible. He says goodbye to his wife and kids and heads out the door. He walks to the nearest train station and gets on a train that will take him downtown. The train is packed with people, all of them heading to work. Some are businessmen, others are factory workers, while others are laborers like Thomas. He doesn't know most of these people, but he doesn't need to. They're all in the same boat, trying to make a better life for themselves and their families. When the train arrives at the station, Thomas gets off and heads to his workplace. He's a carpenter, and his job is to build wooden structures like houses and furniture. He's good at his job, and he takes pride in his work. He believes that a good carpenter can create beautiful things out of wood. He starts his day by selecting the right wood for each project. He knows that each type of wood has its own unique properties, and he needs to use the right one for each job. He chooses some oak for a dining room table, some pine for a bookshelf, and some maple for a chest of drawers. Once he has the right wood, he starts sawing and hammering. It's not easy work, but Thomas doesn't mind. He enjoys the challenge of working with wood. He knows that every piece he cuts must fit perfectly, and he takes great pride in his work. As the hours pass, he works steadily, cutting and hammering until the pieces start taking shape. Before long, he has a dining room table, a bookshelf, and a chest of drawers. He steps back to admire his work. He's pleased with himself. He knows that these pieces will bring joy to the people who buy them. When it's time to go, he gathers his tools and heads to the train station. On the train ride home, he thinks about the next day. He already has plans for new projects, and he can't wait to get started. When he arrives home, he gives his wife and kids a big hug. He loves his work, but he also loves his family. He knows that he's building more than just furniture. He's building a future for his family. He hopes that one day his son will take over the business. He wants his son to learn the trade and carry on the family business. As the years pass, Thomas's son grows up and learns the carpentry trade. Father and son work side by side, creating beautiful pieces of furniture together. Thomas couldn't be happier. He knows that his son will keep the business going long after he retires. One day, Thomas retires. He's old now and his hands are shaking, but he doesn't mind. He's had a good life. He's worked hard, and he's raised a family. Now it's time to relax and enjoy the fruits of his labor. He spends his days fishing and hunting. He also spends a lot of time with his grandchildren. He tells them stories about the Great Chicago Fire and how he helped rebuild the city. He also teaches them the carpentry trade. He wants to pass on his skills to the next generation. One day, Thomas passes away. He's surrounded by his family and loved ones. He's not afraid to die. He's lived a good life, and he knows that he's made a difference in the world. We hear stories about the Great Chicago Fire all the time, but we rarely hear about the people who rebuilt the city. We didn't have a chance to tell you about all the architects, engineers, construction workers, government officials, volunteers, and ordinary citizens who all pitched in to help rebuild their city. But we hope we were able to show you how those everyday people, the carpenters and stonemasons, went about their jobs day after day, patiently and methodically rebuilding a city. The fire may have destroyed Chicago, but it was the everyday people who rebuilt it.